Everyone, how are you all? Hope you're all enjoying your lockdown at home. I know it's a joke, how can we enjoy our lockdown at home? And especially students, their life has suffered a lot because of this corona and the lockdown. Anyway, since other schools are also giving you online classes, so I also take this opportunity to get in touch with you through some videos in which I can teach you some sort of basic grammar. And today I'd like to begin my session or my class with a particular topic which is very important. As you can see written over here, tense, Carl. You know, most of us when we speak English, we know what to speak, but we definitely don't know how to speak. We are not able to reason out when and how we are supposed to use these three tenses that we have: past tense, present tense, and future tense. Most of us struggle, and being a student, as the level you are up to right now, this is the basic that a teacher should give you a solid stuff by which you can really strengthen your basic of tense. So let's begin with the simple way. Tense, as I said, is called Kaal in Hindi. And to summarize tense in a very short, in a nutshell, time is time. Tense is nothing but is time. Whether it's past, present, or future tense, everything speaks of time. And actually, what is tense? Tense gives us the sense through which we are able to identify the time or the period in which the action happened, action is happening, or action will take place. So that's what I said. In a nutshell, tense is nothing but is time. Now, my dear students, and especially my dear Charlies of class 7 and 8, when we try to think of a sentence, or even when we try to write a sentence, we should know that what part of grammar or what part of the speeches are being used in the sentences that you construct. And here I have jotted down, we have three basic components, three basic parts when we construct a sentence. Whether it's interrogative sentence, declarative sentence, or any other sentences that you have studied in grammar. So we have three basic components. First is called subject, second verb, and third is object. There are other parts of speeches that we use in grammar, but I said there are three basic things: subject, verb, and object. And why I'm calling it three basic things, I'll let you know. We have an example written over here. I teach English. Now I is the subject, teach is the verb, and English is object. There are other, like I was talking, we have three basic components when we construct a sentence: subject, verb, and object. And here you can see the example written, I teach English. We can use other speeches also, like interjection, prepositions, but here I'm talking about three basic components. Now, in order to construct a sentence, we definitely must have a subject followed by a verb and the object. Because if we don't have a subject, we can construct a sentence, but for the people, those who read your sentence, they find difficult to identify the tense and other part of the grammar. And the most important thing when we need to construct a sentence is this: verb. We may not have a subject in a sentence, we may not have an object in a sentence, but my dear students, please remember, in a grammar, you cannot construct or you cannot even think of making a sentence without a verb. For example, if I write go, as you know, go is what? Go is a verb. And this very word itself is a full sentence because it tells us the full meaning. Go means bahar jao. Here we don't have a subject, we don't have an object. But even though this is a meaningful sentence because this is a verb. So I hope you'll remember, in order to construct a sentence, we must have three basic things. That is, first, subject, verb, and an object. So, my dear students, let's continue. Now, let's see the three tenses one by one. First of all, we shall see about present tense. Present tense, obviously, you know it. It speaks about the time at the present, at the right moment. The actions which take place or which is taking place, that what present tense refers to. And as you know, we have four substances in all the three categories. So here we have for the present tense, first is simple present, followed by present continuous, present perfect, and present perfect continuous tense. Please remember the sequence, my dear students, because while answering during the exams and in other tests, you tend to make a mistake. You don't keep up the sequence. Simple present, present continuous, present perfect continuous. And you know, if you have observed in your talking, or even in the talking of the elders, those who speak brilliant English, most of them, they tend to speak in continuous form. You might be wondering why sir has written present continuous, why not simple present tense? I have a reason for this. Because I have observed maximum of the students, whenever they try to answer a question, instead of using simple present, they always go for present continuous. Sir, for example, sir, I am not knowing the answer. Sir, I am writing. Sir, I am playing, and so on. So you see, most of the times we tend, it happens because it has gone into our vein, into our talking. We have heard others, so we tend to do the same. So my dear students, you need to be very, very careful about this. So as I said, we tend to use most of the times present continuous, and present continuous speaks of the time that refers to, when the action is taking at the right time when we speak. When we are speaking, the action is continuing. The action is going on. Therefore, we say present continuous. Continuous means something that is taking place, continuing. And in present continuous tense, we may forget verb form like V4 or gerund form. Normally we identify the verbs with ing form. Like here we have an example, go. When we add ing it becomes going. Play, add ing it becomes playing. I am going, I am playing. So that's what we normally speak. I am going and I am playing. So my dear students, let's try not to use what we hear from others most of the times. We should also use our common sense. So now let's see the tenses in correct sequence. First, simple present tense. Welcome back again. So the very first subtopic that we have, simple present tense. And in the beginning of this class, I said when we construct a sentence, we need to have three basic things: subject, verb, and object. The whole tense revolves around this. The whole tense, whatever sentence that you construct. So I'm going to write a sentence for you. Let's take the subject as I, we, you, he, she, it. Now you might be wondering why only these are written as subjects. My dear students, if you have studied your grammar properly, you'll get to know that the subjects can be either a noun or a pronoun. A subject, please mark my word, a subject has to be either a noun or a pronoun. And here, I, we, you, he, she, it, they are pronouns. And like I said, a subject has to be a noun or pronoun. And in the grammar, when you study tense, you'll find these pronouns used as subjects. Now, when we begin making a sentence, I said we need to have a subject first. So I have written down a subject, I. Next comes a verb. Now which form of the verb? I'll get back to you. As you can see, the next thing that I have written are the verbs. I play, we sing, you dance, he writes, she speaks, it rains. If you observe the sentences carefully, I play, we sing, you dance, he writes, she speaks, it rains. Though we don't have any object here, still it gives you a meaningful sentence. I play, meaning what? मैं खेलता हूँ. We sing, हम लोग गाते हैं. You dance, तुम नाचते हो. He writes, वह लिखता है. She speaks, वह बोलती है. It rains, बारिश होती है. Now coming to these verbs, if you can make out the difference over here, the first three verbs that we have used, play, sing and dance. We don't have any S or ES form. Now question should arise. So why have you used play, sing, dance without any S or ES forms? There is a valid reason for it, my dear students. Because I, we, you, they are also the pronouns, and I is said to be the first person singular. And with first person singular, we never use S or ES form of the verb. Therefore, it always goes with I play. So we can say play is V1 form of the verb. Play is V1 form of the verb, or we say root form or the basic form of the verb. Similarly, V is first person plural. And the same rule is applicable over here. We don't use S or ES form, therefore it also becomes V1 form of the verb. You is second person singular and plural as well. And here also we use V1 form of the verb. Now look at these three verbs. Write, we have used S. Speak, at the end we have used S. Rain, at the end we have used S. Why? It is because he, she, it, they are third person singular. They are third person singular subjects. And according to the rule in simple present tense, only with third person singular, he, she, it, we use with the verb S or ES form of the verb. Or in other word, we call it V5 form of the verbs. My dear students, please be extra careful when you write and when you speak. Only with the third person singular, he, she, it, we use S or ES form of the verb or V5 form of the verb. So, write becomes writes, speak becomes speaks, and rain becomes rains. We have one more pronoun left. They. They is third person plural. They is third person plural. So with third person plural, they, again the same rule is applied. We don't use V5 form of the verb. Instead, we use V1 form of the verb. So we'll write they go. Now here you see the proper names Ratan and dog. Now as I said in the beginning, a subject can either be a noun or a pronoun. So till they we have discussed about, or we got to know about pronouns as subjects. But here Ratan and dog, they are the name. They are the names. And you know very well, noun is the name of a person, place, animal or things. So Ratan is a subject that we'll be using, and dog is also a subject. Now you'll be wondering, or you should definitely ask a question. So if I is first person singular, you is second person singular, he, she, it third person singular, then what about Ratan and dog? Which person? Answer is very simple. Ratan. When you listen to the name, what do you feel? What comes to your mind? Is Ratan a boy or a girl? Definitely you'll say Ratan is a boy. And if Ratan is a boy, which pronoun do we use? We use he. So now you go back to the previous lesson. When we heard about he comes under third person singular. It means Ratan is also third person singular. Similarly, dog. Dog is also the name of an animal. And we know that for inanimate objects or for animals, we use only one pronoun, it. And it is also third person singular. So I hope this is very clear to you all, that the names of a particular person, animal or thing written in a singular sense, then they fall under third person singular. So when we'll be using the verbs Ratan dances, because Ratan is third person singular. Dog barks. We'll not write dog bark, because dog is singular form of the verb, which is third person singular. So all the verb becomes your V5 form of the verb. Is it clear? So my dear students, we'll continue the same topic tomorrow as well. And I'll try to be more specific with other tenses also, so that in a short period I can give you a solid stuff. Thank you, and see you tomorrow again.